to another video. Today we're doing the preview of the UEFA Nations League, which starts actually tomorrow. The first game's tomorrow. There's only one game tomorrow though. I'm excited for this for sure because club football is over. But at least it's transfer news and there's international football for the next couple weeks. So we'll start with League A, go down to League D. So in League A, there's France, Denmark, Croatia, Austria. So for fourth place, I think Austria will be fourth. The thing is, they're a good team, but compared to Croatia, Denmark, and France, they're not as good. In fact, they're the only team not qualified for the World Cup, which tells you everything. They got good players like Heinz Lindner, David Alaba. Okay, he's their best player, world class player. I liked Philipp Lienhardt's season with Freiburg. Valentino Lazaro is always decent. Nico Sieveldt is a very good youngster. Marko Arnautovic, a lot of experience there. Marcel Sabitzer, although did not have a good season in Bayern, he's still a great player. So, I think this is a very good team. But Sasa Kalasic had a good season when not injured. Of course, he was injured for quite a long time this season there. But when compared to the other three teams, they're the worst team. They're fourth team in this group, and I think they'll get relegated. Third, I'm actually going to go this order actually. For this first group, Croatia are going to finish third in my opinion. They're starting to have an aging squad, but honestly, they still have a great team. This is the team Livakovic in goal. Domagoj Vida, bags of experience, can get 100 caps potentially in this window. Simovic Salchko, Seletet Sar. And then there's a youngster like Josko Vardiol, players like Borna Sosa with a great year. Luka Modric still as good as ever, the captain. Kovacic and Brozovic, all three had great seasons. Pasalic had over 20 goal contributions. Majer had a great season with Rennes. Sucic is a very good youngster. Kramaric also had a good season, and Brekalo also. So they have a good team, but it's I think they're a step behind Denmark, and then France. France are the best team in the world. Denmark second in my opinion, and they got a good team. They're gonna focus also on the World Cup like Croatia and France. They're trying out a couple players like Victor Nelson, Rasmus Christensen, a very good right back, and a pretty young one too. But they got Schmeichel in goal, a lot of experience there. Andreas Christensen. Vestergaard did not have the best season, but he's there. Thomas Delaney, Christian Eriksen, he's had such a good season with Brentford. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And Andreas Skov has been so good with Club Brugge since signing in January. Mikkel Damsgaard did not have a very good season, but he's been good with Denmark. Jonas Wind and Andreas Cornelis. They're a good team. They're a very good team. Honestly, they can go far in the World Cup, and I think they'll finish second in this group. Definitely rival France, but I think France have just that little bit too much. Lloris in goal, Varane, Lucas Hernandez, Jules Koundé, William Saliba literally got best young player of the year in France in Ligue 1. Jonathan Klaus had a great season, and N'Golo Kante, Aurélien Tchouameni, and this is with a lot of like Kamara Guendouzi, who probably won't get selected at the World Cup. A lot of players that are on the bubble to make the World Cup. Players like Pogba is missing out, Ousmane Dembele, Kurt Zouma, who usually gets called up, and Nordi Mukiele also has a chance. Corentin Tolisso also. But then they got Kante, I already said that. Griezmann, Benzema, and Mbappe. That front three is spectacular. Even Coman is really good. Ben Yedder had a great season. Nkunku had probably the biggest breakout season in the Bundesliga. Diaby also had a very under the radar season. It's a really good team, France, and I think they'll win this group and get to the semifinals. In Group A2, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland, Czech Republic. I mean, I hate to go that route, but honestly, I think the order is going to stay this way too. I'm I'm not doing this because I want it to be like that, but I think like Czech Republic, for me, they're the worst team in this group. And there's one team missing on the World Cup, and all three others making the World Cup, and Czech Republic are the only team that are missing out on the World Cup. Thomas Veklik in goal is a good player. Sufal. Suchek, of course, the captain. Yankto had a mid-season with Getafe, but yeah, he's still decent. They've gotten a lot of young players that don't have many caps. Sadalek had actually a good season with Twente. Ladislav Krejci with Sparta Prague. Adam Chlosek is going to Bayer Leverkusen probably. And Jan Kurte. Also good players there. But compared to Switzerland, who I think will finish third, they're still a bit behind. Switzerland, of course, finished in front of Italy at the World Cup qualifiers, which just shows how good they are. Where's it? Jan Sommer, Ricardo Rodriguez, Nico Elvedi, Fabian Scher, Sylvan Widmer, Jordan Chikiri, Granit Xhaka, Haris Seferovic, Brel and Bol. By the way, this is weird. Mattia Botani, who's getting potentially his first cap at 31 years old. Noah Okafor in there. They got a lot of good players for Switzerland. And they had a great Euros, of course. So, and they finished first in the World Cup qualifier. So a great year last year for them. Let's see if they can push on in 2022. Don't think they'll go top 2 in this group though, but let's see if they can do it. Portugal have a great team. Diogo Costa, Rui Patricio. Costa's now a starter. I hope it's back to Patricio because I really like him. But honestly, Diogo Costa probably deserves it more. Patricio's not been really good with Roma. And then there's David Carmo that might get his first cap. Daniel Pereira. Joao Cancelo, one of the best right backs in the world. Nuno Mendes, very good young left back. Pepe got bags of experience. Bruno Fernandes, not a great season, but he's still a good player. João Moutinho, experienced player. Otavio had a great season with Porto. Ruben Neves, also a very good player, linked with a lot of big teams. William Carvalho, Andre Silva, Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo. Even though Andre Silva did not have a good season, I expected way more from him after a great season with Eintracht Frankfurt last season. But they got Jota, Nguedes, Leao, Horta also. That attack is absolutely a bunch of great performers apart from Andre Silva. They've all had great seasons. And I'm really happy Horta got selected. And Leao, he's probably the biggest breakout player in Serie A this season. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do. They definitely can finish first, but I'm going to go with Spain. Spain's backups are not that good, but their starting 11 is great. Their goalies Unai Simon in there, Jordi Alba in defense, Azpilicueta, Carvajal, Pau Torres. Like the backups being Marcos Alonso, Diego Llorente, Eric Garcia, kind of frightened me for them because that's not what you expect from a Spain team to have those types of backups. They're not that good as backups, but they got good starters though. Busquets, Koke, Thiago, Rodri, Llorente, Soler, Gavi, Morata, Asensio, Sarabia, Fati. De Thomas had a great season with Espanyol, and Ferran Torres had an okay season, I guess. Let's make this a bit quicker because it's already been 8 minutes. So let's go with Group A3. Italy, Germany, England, Hungary. Well, Hungary are definitely last, let's be honest. I do not think there's a single person going with Hungary not finishing last. Surely not. And I'm going to go with them last as well. They have no World Cup to look forward to, and they were pretty disappointing in the World Cup qualifiers in England's group. I think they're a decent team because in the Euros they actually were not that bad, even though they were in a group of death as well. They were not that bad in the Euros. They're not going to be pushovers, but I don't see them finishing anywhere but last, to be honest. Then in third place, I'm going to put England. England don't go all out in these types of tournaments like UEFA Nations League, and I think Italy and Germany will have a lot to prove after losing in the Euros against England, and Italy will have a lot to prove after missing out on the World Cup. So I think they both have more to prove. Even though you could say that same for England, losing to Italy in the Euro final means that England will have a lot of motivation to beat Italy. I still think England will finish third and Italy will finish second, in my opinion. If they can get a world-class striker, like if Immobile could perform as well with Italy as with Lazio, then they could be a world-class team. Even though they won the Euros, they're just not that good, as we saw in the World Cup qualifiers. The fact that they lost to North Macedonia, it's because of the striker. But with a world-class striker, they would be a world-class team for sure. And first, Germany. I think Germany are going to go all out in this. And they got a lot of good players. Like Havertz, like Rudiger, like Kraus. Even though, wait, did Kraus retire? I don't think he... Did he retire? Let's see in Germany, their current squad. He might have retired, actually. Yeah, okay, he's not there. But so, Kimmich, Goretzka, Gundogan, Thomas Müller, Timo Werner, Serge Gnabry. Karim Adeyemi with a big summer move to Dortmund. Neuer, Zula, also going to Dortmund. Jonathan Tah. David Raum and Nico Schlotterbeck had both great seasons. So they got a really good team, Germany. So I think I'm going with them first. Group A4, Belgium, Netherlands, Poland, Wales. I'm going to go with Wales last. Wales will be completely focused on their World Cup qualifier. Now they got to play against Scotland or Ukraine in a couple days. So I think in the first couple matches they'll be with backup teams, and that will be enough to see them finish last. Poland third. I think people overrate them just because there's Lewandowski. But to be honest, they do usually do good in those types of competition, like qualifiers, Nations League. They're not good in Euros and World Cups. They're disappointing, but in qualifiers they're good. So they could be good, but I think Netherlands, Belgium are just too good for them. Just about. Netherlands, I think will finish... Yeah, I'll put second. Because Belgium have the best goalkeeper in the world, potentially the best midfielder with De Bruyne, a great attack with Hazard. Like Hazard with Belgium is a different beast. He's a different animal. It's not Real Madrid and Hazard, and he's back fit. He'll be out there to prove his doubters wrong, and I think he'll be completely motivated. And so I think Belgium are too good for Netherlands, and they'll be preparing for the World Cup. League B, Ukraine, Scotland, Republic of Ireland, Armenia. I think fourth will be Armenia. I've just looked at their team and I don't really know that many players apart from Zela Ryan and a couple others. But the thing is, there's no Mkhitaryan, and compared to this team, the other three teams, they're just not that good. They're just... I like Armenia, but I think they're just one step behind all three other teams. Third, I'm gonna put... Actually, I was thinking between Republic of Ireland and Ukraine. I'm going to put Republic of Ireland. I think they'll go all out in this tournament. But the thing is, they don't have any world-class player. They don't have an Andy Robertson. They don't have, for Ukraine, even a Malinovsky type player for Ukraine. Or Yarmolenko, a difference maker. They don't have that with Republic of Ireland, and I think that's what's going to be missing. Like a player that can come up with a moment of magic. And I think that's the difference between them and Scotland and Ukraine. I'll put Ukraine second because they'll be focused on the other things. A lot of players are not as fit. Tomorrow they play against Scotland, by the way, in the World Cup qualifiers. A long-awaited one. And it's going to be very interesting to see who wins that tomorrow. But I think Ukraine will finish second. Their players are not as fit because a lot of players couldn't play much. Even though they have a lot of players that did play because they were able to leave Ukraine. And also there's a lot of Ukrainian players that actually play international anyways. And from abroad from Ukraine anyways. But I still think they'll finish second and Scotland first. Scotland have a very decent team. And yeah, we'll see who gets to the World Cup. It's the next round. Iceland, Israel, Albania in Group B2. Russia's disqualified because of the whole situation. In third, I'm going to go with Iceland. Iceland have been really disappointing the last 5 years, 4 years. They were so good after the Euros, 2016 and the World Cup 2018. Since then, they've not been good. They've had a decline, but to be honest, a couple of youngsters coming through the ranks. A couple from Copenhagen that look like they could be decent. And like players like Albert Gudmundsson from AZ that are maybe the new next generation of Icelandic players. But right now, most of the players from the Euros and the World Cup retired because they were already pretty old back then. And yeah, I think they're in a big decline, and I think they'll lose. They'll finish third. They won't get relegated because, of course, it's Russia, so there won't be relegation in this group. Second, I'm going to go with Albania. I like Albania with Hisai, with Strakosha, Eched Berisha, the goalie, or Thomas Strakosha, both goalies. Armando Broja. They've got a lot of very decent players in Albania, and I think they'll finish second. First, I'm going to go with Israel. Israel, I think, in my opinion, is underrated. Players like Eran Zahavi, Manor Solomon, and Bibaras Nacho, the center mid, the veteran. Israel have been actually good in the World Cup qualifiers, and I think they're very underrated, and I think they will finish top of this group. Group B3, Bosnia, Finland, Romania, Montenegro. I'm going to go fourth Montenegro. Savic and Jovetic, I don't think will be enough to get them first or even third in this group. I think they're just one step behind all the three others. Third, I'm going to go with Finland. Because, in my opinion, Finland, I don't think score enough. They draw too many games also. They drew, 6 games at the World Cup qualifiers out of 8? They don't have like a good enough attack, in my opinion, and I think that's what's going to be the difference here. They have a very good defense though with Lukas Hradecki, but I think Puki's pretty much the sole striker with Joel Poja and Palo, but they're not good enough in my opinion. And I think for Bosnia will finish second. Dzeko and they're always disappointing recently. Like, since the 2014 World Cup, they've always been disappointing. I remember watching them at 2014 World Cup, and I've always rated them since then, but like I like this team, but I just gotta notice that they're not that good anymore in the last 8 years. And Dzeko and Pjanic, I don't think is enough to get them first in this group, but still second is very decent. Romania first, I'm going with. They got Alejandro Maxim. They were at the Euros 2016, and in my opinion, they have a very decent team. They were actually very decent at the World Cup qualifiers. They finished third, I believe, and just behind North Macedonia. So I think they'll finish first. Group B4, Sweden, Norway, Serbia, Slovenia. This is the best group of this league. But I think the predictions are pretty straightforward. Because I think Slovenia are fourth. Although they have Oblak, like that, a goalie is not enough to get to do anything. You gotta have 10 other players in the team that are great, and they're just not that great, the others. So I think they'll finish fourth. Norway third, but Holland, you never know. But honestly, they can definitely rival. I think it's third just because their teams is pretty damn young. It's a lot of young players, and I think their inexperience will show with the likes of Serbia and Sweden. I was thinking Serbia first, but you know what? I'm actually going to put Serbia second because Serbia will probably be trialing different things for the World Cup, while Sweden will take it more serious because they're annoyed at missing out on the World Cup. They'll want to prove to the people after this no-show against Poland that they're still great players, and I think that's why they'll finish first. While Serbia have a better team, they're a better squad in my opinion, with Milinkovic, Savic, with Mitrovic scoring 43 goals. With all those players, but I think Sweden will finish first. League C, Group C1, Turkey, Luxembourg, Lithuania, Faroe Islands. I think Faroe Islands will finish fourth. I just don't know much of them. Lithuania third. Also, I think this group is going to stay how it is. Also, Lithuania and Faroe Island will definitely rival for that third and fourth spots. But I think Lithuania will just about finish ahead of the Faroe Islands. Second, Luxembourg. They got a couple decent players like Gary Rodriguez and Maxime Chanot and Laurent Jans and Anthony Morris, the goalie from a Royal Union Saint-Gilloise. But I think Turkey are too good. They should easily win this group. Turkey, let's be honest. And I think they will. Group C2, Northern Ireland, Greece, Kosovo, Cyprus. I think Cyprus finished fourth. I like this team, but they don't have enough star quality to finish in front of the three others. In my opinion, third, I'm going to go with Northern Ireland. They got a lot of solid players. Yet again, like with Cyprus, there's not like a main man that they can rely on all the time. While Kosovo, who I think will finish second, will rely on a lot of Rashica or Moriki. These are two very good players. Even though Rashica did not have a good season with Norwich, he's still a very good player. He was very good with Werder Bremen before this. And I think him and Moriki will be a difference maker. Arian Muric in the goal is also a very good player. First, Greece. I really like this Greece team. In goal, Vlachodimos is a very good goalie. Players like Bakasetas, who's the captain, who had a great season with Trabzonspor, who just won the league. Players like Giacomakis, who actually finished tied for top scorer in the Scottish League. And players like that. And Vangelis Pavlidis from AZ. They got a lot of good players, Greece. And I think people underrate them, because I see a lot of people not putting Greece in first. But I think that will be. Group C3, Slovakia, Belarus, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan. This is a tough group. I'm going to put, though, fourth, Belarus. Just because I think they're just a bit worse than Kazakhstan, while Kazakhstan third. I think Azerbaijan have a little bit more than both these teams, and it will finish second, and Slovakia definitely should finish first. Pretty easily. Group C4, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, Georgia, Gibraltar. Gibraltar easily finished fourth. Like, come on, they are by far way worse than the three other teams. They've got no chance. Third is going to be Bulgaria, in my opinion, while second, Georgia is a very up-and-coming team, and I think they can surprise a few people. First, North Macedonia. We've seen what they did in the World Cup qualifiers, and I think they'll push on from there. League D, Group D1, Liechtenstein, Moldova, Andorra, Latvia. Fourth will be Liechtenstein. They're not a good team at all. Third will be Andorra, and second, Moldova. Tiraspol comes from there. First, Latvia. Latvia are by far the best team in this group, in my opinion. Group D2, Malta, Estonia, San Marino. Third, San Marino. They're way worse than the others. Malta in second, in my opinion, and Estonia easily first. Estonia are by far the best team in this group. Those are my predictions for the UEFA Nations League. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like button and subscribe if you're new. And I'll be doing a AFCON 2023 qualifiers preview as well. So I'll see you for then. Bye. See you next time.